Hello everyone, I am the Honest Hierophant and welcome in today's video. It is that time. It is time for another predictions video for the month of July. Welcome in. In today's piles, we're doing things a bit creatively. We have different bracelets with different charms to make up for the bracelets to make them very unique. And they coincide with different decks as well. So feel free to choose your deck between pile 1. We have the Kitty Cat Tarot, and it has a Carnelian bracelet with 3 charms of the butterfly, a moth, and a starfish underneath. And then for pile 2, we have the Golden Wheel Tarot with a Snowflake Obsidian bracelet underneath, and the charms that make up it are 2 different types of leaves, and also a bull charm. And then for pile 3, we have the Light Seers deck with a Rhodonite bracelet, and the charms that go along with it is a fox, a cat, and a bat. For pile 4, we have the Angel Wisdom Tarot with a Picaso Jasper bracelet, and the charms that go along with it is a heart, a fairy, and a dragonfly. So if any of these elements help you choose your pile, feel free to do so. But I also have the spiritual properties of each bracelet's crystal down in the description below if that also helps you. Feel free to choose your pile now, and we'll get into your predictions for the month of July. Hello, my pile number 1. Welcome into your section of the video. You have chose the Kitty Cat Tarot alongside the Carnelian bracelet and all the charms along with it. All the charms will be explained towards the end of your reading for additional messages, whether it's positive affirmations or whether it tags along with your reading. And then also we have some oracle cards sitting here on the table alongside your deck that you have chosen. And what we're going to do is we're going to do exactly like we did for the month of June. We're going to pick an oracle card for how your energy starts in the month of July, and then an oracle card for how your month of July is going to go. And then we're going to pick an oracle card for how your month of July will end. So stick around for that second card to be revealed towards the end of your reading. So let's go ahead and dive into what or how is your month of July going to start. What is the energy surrounding the beginning of your month of July? And then also we'll choose the ending card as well. So we've got 2 cards here. Let's see here. We've got magnetism through gratitude. Wow. Okay, that is how your month of July is going to start. It seems to me like the things that you are potentially acquiring throughout the month of July, or maybe the manifestations that you have set in motion, could be coming to you based off the amount of gratitude that you are putting out into the universe. Being thankful for the things that you do have, being thankful for some of the smaller things as well, because small things can add up to big things. And also, I think showing gratitude towards other people, being grateful for their presence, being grateful for like the small moments in life as well, even moments that you don't necessarily enjoy. Like, let's just say if you were, taking a plane ride or a bus ride somewhere and you're not really excited about sitting for an hour or 2, be thankful that you're alive. Be thankful that you do have the opportunity to move and travel. That seemingly shows within this card, just to be thankful for that, and things will be attracted to you. Positive energy, people being thankful for you. It could be a return, If you're looking for the energy of being appreciated and people thanking you, that could be easily returned back to you if you do the same. Okay? So let's go ahead and see kind of like your major timeline throughout the month of July with the tarot cards here. And then we'll get into some few other predictions and things like that. Okay? So let's see, what is your major timeline going to be like through the month of July? What's the biggest thing happening? Okay. We're getting rattled up here. Okay. The world. King of Cups. Page of Swords. King of Wands. I'll move this card down just a notch here. And then the Temperance. Alright, wow. A lot of nice cards here for you, pile number one. It seems to me like a lot of what you are going to be involved with in the month of July is a lot of things that can add to your energy. A lot of things that can create a lot of positive energy. It seems like you were maybe going through the lessons, the life lessons of being thankful, about being appreciative of even the tiniest things. Even the tiniest things like a moth. You have a moth as your charm. You can be very appreciative of just the smaller things in life and allowing that to build up a lot of great emotion, a lot of great positivity. And I feel like being influenced by smaller things will allow you to learn how to be more creative, more passionate, more tender-hearted. It might even open you up to a lot of your inner emotions that you might not even know that you have. And I think being able to see the great big picture of a lot of things, with all the small things adding up to that great big picture, you might be able to eliminate a lot of negative energy within your life. You might see things a bit differently. You might see things from a bigger and greater perspective that allows you to have a bit more control over your own actions, over your own emotions, maybe even over your own temper. I could see some of you dialing back down your temper if you have a really big temper. I could see that being something that you do in the month of July, is being able to learn how to control yourself, learn how to control how you perceive things and how you interpret things and bring things into your existence, into your soul, into your body, mind, everything. How can the small things create something great for you in your life and really allow those moments and those things to further advance your happiness, further advance your gratitude, and further advance your fulfillment in life? Allow those things to collectively create positive energy for you, because those things that create positive energy for you might be something that you can go back to and not get bored from, and allow those things to fulfill you whenever you're having a harder time throughout life. You're learning some things here that allow you to build up some great energy within you. It almost seems like it's based off energy work, and it almost seems like it's changing your personality just a little bit to coincide with more than just yourself or your close circle. I feel like you're expanding and growing as a person on a personal basis within this month of July. That's very, very awesome to see for you. And that could also be the reason why the butterfly is here as well, is that you're expanding and growing and transforming into other things. Let's see here. What is the collective energy for pile number one through the month of July? Let's see if I can pull two cards here of how you're going to be feeling emotionally, physically, things of that nature. All right, we got the Knight of Wands. Ooh. And then we've got the Five of Wands. So emotionally, physically, I can see you creating a bigger difference with inside yourself. Maybe you are dabbling into new passions. Maybe you are creating a better version of yourself to take on a new passion. So maybe you could be eating healthier to go to the gym. You could be learning how to drive a motorcycle so you can get your motorcycle's license. Things of that nature, things of that organization there, where you're going to be learning something to create a new passion for yourself. maybe you're learning how to rock climb, so you need to learn how to tie up your gear, or, maybe you're getting ready to remodel a house that you want to flip, so you're learning on YouTube how to remodel certain things such as flooring or cabinets or something like that. I feel like you're learning something here to improve yourself, to embrace a new change within yourself, so that way you can move into a new passion. It seems like emotionally, mentally, that you are working to learn something. You are learning to how to change something within you. And then physically, you might be actually making a physical change to your body to transform into this passion. So that's really interesting here. Okay, let's see. What's another question for pile number 1 here? Is there anybody coming into their life? Who might be coming into pile number 1's life within the month of July? All right. We have the 5 of Pentacles. I feel like you're showing up for yourself. I think that's really what pile number 1 needs to hear from Spirit, is that you're going to be showing up for yourself. You are looking at yourself in the reflection. You're looking at your shadow form, and you're being very picky. You are looking at it under a microscope and seeing what microscopic changes do you need to make to better your situation, to better your health, to better your view around other people. How are people viewing you? And I think that's something that's really, really important for you, is that you want to allow people to see you in a different light, in a different way. So maybe you're improving that quality of yourself. I really see that you're going to be showing up for yourself and making a big change. That's what's coming into the month of July for you. Pile number 1 is that you're learning how to make a change for yourself, because you want to do that for yourself. You're showing up for yourself. All right, let's see here. Who is leaving pile number 1's life within the month of July? Who is leaving pile number 1's life in the month of July? We have the 2 of Wands. All right. I feel like the thing, it could be a person for some of you, but I don't really see it as a person. It could be a thing. I feel like you're eliminating distractions. I feel like that's the biggest key here, is that anything that seems to be a distraction for you is something that's being eliminated here. You're not letting things cling on to you as much as they have before. You're not allowing your tolerance to be so high. You're allowing your tolerance to come down a few notches, so that way you can avoid doing things that maybe were habits before, or maybe you were complacent or lazy and you really enjoyed those things, but they weren't like building up to a bigger scale or a bigger picture for you, like you're wanting to do or wanting to change for yourself by, enjoying more things and changing your mindset and changing, the quality of your life. I feel like there's a bit of distractions that you might be eliminating. And if that fits within a person, then that might be a connection that you are also eliminating. Someone that maybe is really familiar with you on how you were, and now that you're changing, they still hold that same personality. They still hold those same similarities. And if you eliminate that person that is very, very similar to you, that held those same tendencies, then maybe you won't be distracted or encouraged to go back the way that you were before the month of July. And you won't be, I guess you could say, not necessarily intimidated, but you won't be worried that this change will not go the way that you want it to. All right. You will not be influenced to go back to the same ways that you have been before with this person. All right. Let's see. What's going to be like the biggest change, I guess you could say, for pile number 1? What's going to be the biggest change? The biggest change is a Four of Wands. You're setting yourself up to improve for the future. Like you're focused more on future development. You're focused more on setting yourself up to be the greatest quality person, to reach your end goals, to reach your dreams, to reach your passions, to reach maybe a potential person that you actually want to settle down with. You're recreating your dream life to the way that you want it to be. And that's the biggest change that you're making within the month of July. You're setting your focus on recreating that potential path for you and what your dreams actually are, and not really resonating with maybe the distractions that you were dealing with. Maybe the distractions led you to believe that you wanted a certain thing, but deep down inside yourself, inside your emotions, you don't necessarily want those things anymore, and you're recreating the structure of what you want your life to be. All right, let's see. I'm probably going to put some cards on top of these other cards, but let's see if there's any cool things happening, anything else coming into pile number one's life during the month of July. What's something that they need to know? We've got the Star coming out here. We've got the Chariot. Got the Eight of Wands. Or no, that's the Ace. Eight of Swords, I believe. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Then lastly, we have the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so I see the Page of Pentacles being very similar to how you are changing your perspective on the end goals, the end happiness for you. What's going to make you happy in your technically so-called dream life, I guess you could say. And I think you were, building up more of a tolerance and more of a focus towards that energy. And you're starting to make that difference. You're starting to realize what it takes to create that difference for you. And I see that within the month of July, that your vision and your understanding of your surroundings are going to change. And you're going to start a brand new chapter in your life to create that path moving forward. And it's something that maybe you've been pulled to, might be something that you're called to, and you're completely understanding that a lot more, all right? And it's going to be a fantastic change for you, because maybe this is something that has needed to happen for a while, but you're just now coming to that realization, you're coming to that understanding, which is great. That's a great improvement for you, pile number one. That takes a lot of, confidence. That takes a lot of encouragement to be able to make those changes. And I'm super proud that you're doing that. And I honestly think that there might be some things that start to come into your life under some of the manifestations that you have casted maybe 2 months ago. If you have a manifestation journal, or you write them down, or whatever you do with your manifestations, if you can look back to about 2 months ago, I feel like that is a time period of some smaller things coming into your life for you within this month of July. And I think that's really incredible, because it shows that once you start making these differences, once you start bringing in more gratitude, that you'll start seeing changes within your life. You'll start seeing that once you release negative energy, you're able to bring in more positive energy. And it could actually be up to 3 months ago as well. You see, okay, I keep seeing signs for this pile here. It might actually be 2 to 4 months ago. So if you look back into your manifestation journal, or if you are able to remember what it was that you manifested 2 to 4 months ago, then you'll see that those smaller things will start to pick up and start to increase into your life. And you'll start to understand what it's like to walk within your path and what it's like to walk within your truth. And things will start to become more magical for you. All right. Let's see if I can pull one last card for you, pile number one. What? All right. I just wanted to fall out. I was going to ask what you needed to be aware of or concerned about showing up for you in this month. And that is the Justice card and the Page of Cups. I said that you're going to be walking within your truth. It is important for you to understand that once you start trying to walk within your truth and start to walk within what you feel like you resonate with a lot, that things will start to come up for you as distractions or as negative energy, evil energy, to try to persuade you otherwise from choosing these choices to better yourself. And I think that's something that you need to be aware of, that when things feel natural and it feels like you're being kind of like pulled in that way based off magnetism, then you're going to understand how easy it is. But the easier it gets to do these things, the more people start to get jealous, the more people start to want to cling off of you or try to take you down. And I think it's best that you start to try and protect yourself and don't settle for anything less than what you feel like you truly deserve. So allow yourself to be protected, allow yourself to walk within your truth still, and not be persuaded to do otherwise. All right. Feel it inside you and allow yourself to understand what you truly want within inside your heart space, and allow yourself to be protected. All right. All right. Pile number 1. We are going to flip over the last card, and then we'll get into your charms alongside your bracelet. So how are you going to end your month of July? Wow. We got attract through glow. That is a lightning bug right there. So, usually like moths or bugs in general like to be, in like the spotlights, I guess you could say. What is it that they call them? Floodlights. There we go. Floodlights that you have on your homes, or just lights in general. When it gets darker, they like to hover around lights, and they are really attracted to that energy, that light. I don't know the scientific reasoning behind it. I'm sure there is like a real reason for that. If you know the real reason, comment down below. I'd be greatly appreciated to hear what you have to say about that, so that way I can actually be educated on that as well. But you are going to be not only attracting things at the beginning of the month through your gratitude and appreciating yourself and appreciating the smaller things and what other people will do for you, but once your energy shifts to more of a positive, radiant energy of light and love, you are going to be attracting a lot of that equal partnership type of energy to you. You're going to also be attracting more things of light and love to boost your energy, to increase your self-confidence, to increase the great things in your life and help you reach your goals quicker. That is awesome. That is really, really awesome. And I hope that it continues to go well after the month of July for you to keep up that energy, because you're going to be going to bigger and better things for you. So for the charms, we had the butterfly, the moth, the starfish. You are going to be evolving. You're going to be upgrading yourself. You could easily say that you're going from a moth to a butterfly. Maybe you were one of those types of energies to cling on to other people and cling on to what other people do in life. But now you're kind of stepping out of that shadow. Now you're kind of creating yourself, evolving, allowing yourself to amplify your own inner truth and your own inner energy. And you're becoming something great, something that is beautiful, standalone by itself. And you're evolving into that energy. And also, you need to offer yourself protection. Energy protection is going to be key, so that way you do not get dragged back down into the moth type of energy. So that way you can keep going. You can keep attracting things through gratitude and glow. All right. That's really important for you. And also, don't allow yourself to be attracted back to that same old pattern. Allow yourself to be strong. That's what the Carnelian bracelet resembles. is being strong and confident within your choices and within your path and not allowing other things to affect you. Offer yourself some energy protection so that way you don't get dragged back into your old ways, old patterns, old habits, or simply the old distractions that you were dealing with before. You deserve to be on your own pedestal. You deserve to be appreciated and loved in your own light and walk within your inner truth. That's what I see for the month of July for you. I hope this really resonates with you. Thank you so much for being here, pile number 1, and I'll catch you guys in the next reading. Take care. Hello, my pile number 2s. Welcome into your section of the video. You have chosen the Golden Wheel Tarot and also the Snowflake Obsidian Bracelet alongside 3 charms that we'll discuss about what their significant meaning is towards this reading, whether it's affirmations or just additional messages to the reading. You've got 2 different leaves, and you've got a bull skull or head as well. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to jump into these oracle cards. We're going to pick 2 oracle cards. One card is going to be what is the energy you're going to have starting the month of July, and the second card is going to be what is the energy towards the end of the month of July for you. So let's go ahead and figure out what your energies are going to be starting and ending. And the second card will be revealed towards the end of the reading, so stay tuned for that. And so will the charms as well. All right, we got the 2 cards chosen here for what your energy is going to be like at the beginning and the end. Let's go ahead and flip over how you're going to start. So this is really interesting because the energy or the animal that is on here is also something with horns. You've got prayer answered. Something magical is going to prevail for you at the beginning of the month of July. It almost seems like maybe you are embracing a certain energy, a certain pattern, or something that is going to help you within the start of the month of July for you. And I almost, resonate with this energy. I'm going to go ahead and say what I think about the charm that has been chosen for you for the bullhead, is that it can resemble any sort of energy that has horns. So like a bull, which is Taurus, a ram for the Aries, or it could be the goat for Capricorn, and even the buffalo here. Anything that has bull horns seems to be something, or anything that has horns seems to be something that you're going to be resonating with. It almost seems like you are grasping a certain energy that you need to have to make better choices for you and really continue to go strong within the choices that you are making for yourself. So let's see what the major timeline is going to be for the month of July for you. What is the major timeline going to be like for the month of July for pile number 2? We have Six of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, the Lovers, and lastly, I'm going to have to move this down here. We did this before. On pile 1, cards are just too big to fit all in one space. So we got the 6 of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, the 4 of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the Wheel of Fortune. It seemed like maybe the energy that you were casting in the past was an energy that wasn't really resonating with you. It almost seems like it's an energy of something that was kind of falling apart. But now, here in the month of July, it almost seems like the tables have turned. It seems like whatever choices that you were making leading up to this change of energy is paying off within this month of July, because it seems like you are going to be protecting whatever it is that you're creating, whatever it is that you're moving towards, and you're falling more and more in passion with this energy. And it almost seems like it's something that you had to go through to learn. And it almost seems like this is the way that it was always going to end up, that you are going to go through this regardless. And you shouldn't beat yourself up of like why you didn't do this sooner or why you made those stupid mistakes. Those mistakes allowed you to understand this energy that you are going to be coming into, and that you should be extremely proud for even making the mistakes that you have made in the past. And now you're being super protected in this energy. You're not allowing yourself to kind of fall to the wayside like you did before. You're understanding the choices that you're making is going to be best suited for you. And it seems like you're going to ground into this energy, into this protection energy of protecting yourself, protecting what you're creating, protecting where you're moving towards. You're not going to allow yourself to be affected energetically on this basis here. And like I said, you are going to be falling more in love with this passion and this creation. And that is going to be super, super awesome for you, because now that you're falling more in love with it, you're going to be creating much more from it. And you're also going to be attracting a lot of things from it. You're going to have a really healthy balance with the idea of what it is you're creating. You're not going to get burnt out on it. You're actually going to be able to keep the momentum that you want to keep. So you're transitioning a lot of things right now. You're growing into an energy that is going to be best suited for you here in the month of July. And that is really, really awesome. Okay. Let's see here. What is the physical and mental health or energy going to be like for pile number 2 within the month of July? Let's see if we can get some answers on that. The cards are really wanting to speak here. Yeah, here we go. 6 of Wands. What is this card? The 2 of Wands in reverse. And you see we got the ram heads here. So I don't see you moving or taking inspiration from other things. It almost seems like you're going to be kind of closed off within this month of July. Mentally, you're going to be trying to go back more inwards into your own existence, into your own true passion and your love, and really try to resonate with that more, and really try to bring that out creatively, really try to bring that out more into existence in the real world. You know, it's not just within your own energetic field, it's going to be casted towards the real world and allowing other people to see what you have to offer, to kind of be more standalone and to be more appealing in this way of what you're trying to create or what you're trying to do in this world. So you're going to be emotionally kind of closed off, kind of not receptive towards other people's energies that might be very, very similar to you. And you're going to be looking more inwards, and you're going to, I guess this is more, not necessarily physically, but more soulfully, if you want to say that, looking more inwards into your true authentic self and allowing that to shine and become successful for you. All right. So let's see, is there anything coming into pile number 2's life, whether it's a person or a thing, in this month of July? Ooh, wow. Congratulations, pile number 2. That is awesome. You're going to be completing an energy. You're going to be kind of like, it's kind of like a jacuzzi, I guess you could say, or a hot tub, where you're going to be plunging into something and you're going to be settling down very nicely into something very, very comfortable, something very, very energetically pleasing that creates a lot of satisfaction and a lot of happiness for you. And you're almost coming to a finish line to something here. You're almost coming to a really rejoiceful type of energy that you can just celebrate about this final chapter that you're coming into. And once you're here into this world of this joy and this joyfulness, you are going to be starting something brand new with inside that world. You're going to be starting a new future with that energy. And that is really awesome. That is really freaking awesome. Let's see here. Is there anything leaving pile number 2's life within the month of July, we have the Four of Wands. Very interesting. It seems like there's going to be a certain connection for you. Or maybe there might be like an old end goal for you, something that you really resonated with at first that maybe you don't necessarily resonate with anymore, and that you're leaving that behind. You're letting that go by the wayside and change for you, so that way you can be more into this world's energy. You're going to be more into this new life, this new world, and you're going to be maybe losing a connection, or maybe just losing that old way of thinking of like what you actually wanted for your end goal to be. I could see that happening very easily for you, or it could just be that maybe you're changing a pattern within this connection that is more grounded for you, that is more energetically pleasing for you. You have kind of like a leaf within this card, but you also have 2 leaf charms. So I could easily see you becoming more grounded within your own energy and not being so codependent on other people's energies. I think maybe that's what this card resembles the most, is not necessarily like a deep connection like how it would naturally, but I feel like it's talking about you becoming more grounded within, the 2 of your energies, of not necessarily being so codependent on what other people think or what other people want you to do. And like here in the 2 of Wands, you're going to be blocking out those extra connections that you don't necessarily need, so that way you can focus inwards towards yourself. So a lot of possibilities here for that. Let's see. Let's try to find out for you. Is there anything crazy, anything coming into pile number 2's life here for the month of July? What's happening in the month of July? What other additional things are happening? Let's try to figure out some extra stuff that we can show you. Here we go. Other things that are happening for you. We got the Death card, got the 3 of Wands, got the Knight of Swords, the Chariot, and the 10 of Wands. Wow. It just so happens that I put the 10 of Wands on the Death side. Very, very interesting. It seems like there's going to be more of a releasing type of energy. And I think once you start focusing more inwards, you're going to start to discover that there are some things that maybe have limited you to your past, maybe limited to you of your past manifestations, that you are going to be able to kind of eliminate, kind of get out of these burdens, get out of these negative energies that really pertain to maybe more of your personality, or maybe some characteristics of yourself that you don't really vibe with anymore, that needs to kind of die. It needs to kind of be eliminated from you. Maybe going through another death and rebirth here for the month of July might happen for you to really come into more of a joyous, joyful energy. So that way you can get back onto your chariot. That way you can get back to your purpose. Distractions are eliminated. You're going to be more in a movement energy after this death and rebirth. And things are going to pick up. Things are going to start becoming more energetic. You might be picking up some more responsibilities. And the energy that you are casting towards the future is going to light your way through your path. It's going to create a lot of great things for you moving forward, and a lot of great energy coming your way as well in return. So you might be picking up some more responsibilities, but the biggest thing for you is I think that you should not necessarily get too fixated on moving too fast or growing too fast with this energy, and allow yourself to take time, allow yourself to be more comfortable and situated and really grasp what is going on around you. Don't let yourself get distracted on moving too fast. allow yourself to be more patient, a little bit more in your gratitude type of energy, a little bit more into your observation type of energy, and allow things to take its time. Control how fast things are going based off how fast you want it to go, right? So I think there's a lot of decisions, a lot of choices, a lot of eliminating, a lot of growth, and a lot of great potential for you within this month. But let's see if there's something that we need to be made aware of here for the month of July. What does pile number 2 need to be made aware of? What's a warning that they need to hear for the month of July? Okay, this card really wants to come out. All right, we got the Hermit in reverse. So the thing that needs to be made aware is maybe you don't necessarily need to be involved into your energy too much. Okay, I feel like maybe if you get started on this energy and get invested into making a lot of changes, you can't stay comfortable inside for too long making these changes. That changes need to be made periodically. That you can't overstimulate yourself with change on like maybe bad habits and things like that, because then you might not even resonate with yourself. You might be distracted. You might eliminate some of the energy that was working for you on accident. So just feel called to certain energies that you need to change, but don't get so fixated on working too much into your own energy. And also don't allow yourself to be closed off. Yes, you can work on your own energy, but don't allow yourself to be closed off to the world potential. Even the world card is here. Don't allow yourself to be closed off to the potential of the world and the outsiders of your own existence. And, you know, maybe it could also be saying, don't cramp yourself in your home that much as well. I know it's hot in the month of July, but don't allow yourself to just be comfortable staying at home all the time, and maybe get out and do some things for yourself. Maybe get out and do some things in your own energy, because the more that you stay at home and comfortable and focused inwards, the more that you are probably going to burn out. Okay? So don't allow yourself to burn out. Now, lastly, we have the last oracle card. How is your month of July going to pan out for you? How are you going to be ending the month of July? We've got the quantum jump. It seems like to me that is a great sign. If you've seen a grasshopper recently, this is another symbol for you, that this is a great sign and that you are potentially going to be making leaps forward into your future. You might be even shifting timelines here towards the end of July or maybe during July, and that you are going to be, making great strides and making great progressions within your own energy and balancing a lot of things and really moving forward into what is going to be yours. And that's really awesome. And I really recommend staying within this energy because it's really paying off for you. And I think that's the reason why, the Snowflake Obsidian is here, is for you to really be protected energetically. All right. So the 3 charms that we also have for your bracelet that was pre-picked for your pile is we have 2 different leaves. We have the bullhead. And I think there is definitely 2 different messages for each leaf. I think for you, you need to be able to ground yourself within nature, ground yourself within your own element, and allow yourself to create a resistance, create some sort of protection based off your grounded energy. So that way it is not affected by other people's ideas or other people's energies. So that way you can stay focused on your path and moving forward. Then we have the second leaf, which I think is talking about growth. I think it's talking about exponential growth for you, that you're going to be, growing like a weed pretty much within this energy, that things are going to really, really pay off for you. and that you should really nurture that growth, really nurture these conditions for you to have the best. Let's just say you need to nurture the conditions for your plant to grow. So getting it into the right conditions is what you need to do, and really allow that to increase the growth for you. And then for the bullhead, like I said at the beginning, I think you're just going to be standing your ground, 7 of Wands types of energy. You're going to be setting boundaries. You're going to be really, really determined, and you're going to be staying within your own energy and making those right choices for you and repelling anything that you feel like is not right for you. That is going to be the month of July for you, pile number 2. I really hope you resonate with this energy. Thank you so much for being here. I really deeply appreciate you being here, and I'll catch you guys in the next reading. Take care. Hello, my pile number 3s. Welcome into your section of the video. Whether you have chose the Light Seers deck or whether you have chose the Rhodonite Bracelet, welcome into your section of the video. It is pretty much halfway through the year. We're in July now. We're starting the July predictions. Let's see how your month of July is going to go. Basically, we have some oracle cards here on the table, and I'm going to pick 2 oracle cards. The first card is going to resemble how your energy is going to be like at the beginning of July, and then we're going to see the energy towards the end of July, and that second card will be revealed towards the end of the reading. And then there's also some charms with inside your Rhodonite bracelet, and we'll discuss what the charms signify for you, whether it's affirmations or whether it's a tag-along message from your spirit guides to let you know anything about July. So let's go ahead, shuffle these cards up. Let's try to figure out how your month of July is going to go for you. We're going to pick out 2 cards here. One's going to be the beginning of the month, and the second one's going to be the end. And we'll figure out how that energy is going to be like for you. All right. Here is the first card. We're going to put it over here in the corner. And then the second card over here as well. I've learned from the first 2 videos that I need to put the second card right in that area because it gets in the way if I don't. So let's reveal the first card. Wow. All right. Destiny Path. This is really interesting for you to be starting your month here. And I feel like there's a specific calling that you're going to be attracted to starting this month. I feel like there's going to be a lot of things to resemble to. I noticed that within the middle of your bracelet with the charms, there's a lot of different animals. And there's a lot of different, symbols here on this card as well. I'm really thinking that you're going to be seeing a lot of signs pointing you in a certain direction for a calling of some sort. We got the snakes, we got the bees, and then, of course, inside the charms, we have the cat, the fox, and the bat. So, really interesting pictures here, okay? Let's go ahead and try to dive into some of the tarot cards here and try to figure out, like the main timeline for the month of July for you. What is the main timeline for pile number 3? This is really interesting here. I'm feeling like this is primarily like a calling for you to maybe, like make some money or a purpose of some sort for you. This is really interesting here. What is pile number 3 being called to? What is their main timeline in the month of July? All right, we got the Knight of Swords coming out here first. The 8 of Cups. The 9 of Cups. The 5 of Wands. And then lastly, we have the Hanged Man. Sneak it in here real quick. All right, so it seems like within the month of July, there's going to be a lot of choices for you. Some hard-hitting choices for you that maybe, you've got to sit with for a while, whether it's, leaving a romantic relationship, leaving a job, moving towards a new job, improving yourself by taking chances on yourself, things of that nature is going to be a really key theme here in the month of July. A lot of improvement, over the quality of your life and where you're supposed to be going and heading in that direction. So there's a lot of symbols that are going to be revealing themselves to you, whether it's through animals, whether it's through bugs, pictures, angel numbers, signs, maybe even approaching some place that you've never been before and then automatically seeing like something that catches your attention and you're like, wow, I'm kind of like gravitated towards this. There's going to be a lot of things popping out to you that resemble things for you to take chances on or to make changes within your life and giving you some sort of key evidence to make these choices a bit stronger for yourself. It feels like you're going to be a bit more committed to these choices by seeing these signs. And that gives you a whole lot more confidence to make these, adjustments within your life, to make these improvements within your life. And I feel like you're going to be looking back within the heart space and kind of prioritizing yourself and putting yourself first in these predicaments. I think that's what a lot of the Rhodonite symbolizes, is that you're going to be giving yourself a lot of attention, a lot of self-love, casting back that positive energy towards yourself and creating it within yourself. So I think that's the big picture here for the month of July, is that there's going to be a lot of symbolic things happening for you to make some transformations, to make some changes within your lifestyle, within your patterns, and just within your life in general. All right, let's see if we can figure out what your physical nature and what your mental nature is going to be like. Like, what's the energies here? 2 cards that came out is the 4 of Swords and the Fool. I feel like a lot of your emotional tendencies with here in the month of July is just reserving a lot of your energy, reserving how much you put out. And you're really, like I said, casting it back inwards towards yourself to improve what you have within inside you. So that way you can be ready to make bigger changes and taking more steps forward for you with confidence. Confidence within yourself, confidence within your abilities, and being happy with these choices. With your physical nature, we have the Fool. And I think it really just means that you're coming into trust with the choices within divine timing, within spirit, things of that nature. You are wanting to trust. You are wanting to move within trust of all these symbols. You're willing to make more sacrifices within your life that maybe you wouldn't have a few months ago, a year ago, things of that nature. You're improving the quality of your life, and you're starting new things. You're starting to do new things that maybe physically you weren't able to do before. Let's see if there is somebody or something coming into your life within the month of July here. Anything or something coming into the... Ooh. Wow, okay, so we got the Devil card coming in here. And, realistically, you could say that somebody... I feel like there could be 2 different patterns here for this pile, for the pile number 3. You could easily say that somebody is coming in here to maybe teach you a lesson, maybe to showcase to you things that maybe you don't need to be doing. But I also see somebody coming in to maybe rescue you from these mental strains, these mental patterns. Maybe these signs don't come across to you like they should, and then maybe somebody is coming in to break these patterns for you, so that way you can trust more into like a human form instead of like seeing the signs. Maybe you don't necessarily trust those signs as much, and maybe you just need somebody to really showcase to you what changes need to be made within yourself. Someone is going to be provoking those changes for you. Maybe somebody that you already know, or maybe somebody that you don't really know that well, and you learn more about this person, and they kind of provoke these changes within inside yourself for you to really say, hey, wait a minute, why am I dealing with this? Why am I putting up with this? I don't understand why I'm still hanging on to these bad habits or, not treating myself right or not putting myself first, you're going to understand a bit more of that energy from this person. And I feel like this is kind of like a divine connection for you. And it's supposed to be on your path. It's destiny. It goes back to the Oracle card here. It is a destiny purpose for this person to be inside your life, so that way you can really generate those changes that you need to make for yourself. All right, let's see if somebody is leaving pile number 3's life within the month of July, or something leaving. What could that be for pile number 3? Okay. I just had the cards just fly out all at one time. Like nearly a quarter of the deck just flew out onto the floor. I really think there is something happening here that might be crazy nature. It might be catastrophic. It might be, a lot of things happening all at one time. Let me see if I can collect these cards really quick. All right, I'm going to put these cards back into, the pile, but I'm just going to read these cards out. We've got, the 7 of Swords, 2 of Wands, Judgment in reverse, King of Cups, Ace of Swords, Page of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Magician, Ace of Pentacles, and the Strength card. Like, all these cards just came out. Crazy. I think there's going to be a lot of, changes, multiple changes for you that maybe is leaving your life for the better. A lot of energy leaving your life for the better within this month. Things that maybe didn't really put your purpose first. Maybe things that, you were putting yourself as priority number 2, or, even the last priority. What is leaving pile number 3's life? What is the main thing that is leaving pile number 3's life? Let's see here. We've got the Moon. Okay. Insecurities, things that maybe you don't necessarily, things that you don't necessarily see clearly, things that maybe kind of hide underneath all the elements, things that maybe you were, quite innocent towards, things that don't necessarily come across to you in the right lighting, things that bypass you. You don't understand that maybe these things are harmful. That kind of vision for yourself, that kind of understanding of the world is potentially leaving you. You're going to understand these things quite more clearly, and you're not going to have to second guess yourself. You're not going to have to, fly under the radar and not see these things at all. These things are going to become more apparent to you, and it's going to be casted towards you with signs, signs to make these improvements, signs to really understand the situations you get yourself into. You're going to be really seeing these things a bit more clearly for you, and potentially more in the sunlight instead of the moonlight. All right. Maybe things are happening to you at nighttime, or maybe you let your guard down at nighttime, and maybe those changes are going to take place. So that way, you're more protected during the night. Maybe you're not protected during the time when you're sleeping. Maybe you need to be more energetically protected while you're sleeping, and those things are going to be changed, because I do have the 9 of Swords here at the bottom. So maybe there is some energy here that you need to protect yourself while you're sleeping. Maybe some people are getting to you subconsciously while you're sleeping, and these signs need to be taken care of. All right, what does pile number 3 need to be made aware of during July? What's one of the biggest things that they need to be made aware of or warned about for the month of July? All right, the Hierophant. Interesting card here. The thing that you need to be made aware of is that there is going to be a path of learning for you. Maybe things that could be relearned as well. Maybe these are things that you feel pretty comfortable in, confident in, things that you need to be more open towards, potentially learning a different vision of, being able to see things from a different perspective, being willing to learn these new opportunities, being able to learn these new traits, these new abilities, these new habits, Be more open to the thought of learning self-improvement. Do not allow yourself to be closed off in a closed-off mindset like you know everything or that you've learned everything. Be open to learning something new. Be able to learn, maybe something that you already know in a more efficient way, in a more sustainable way. Do not close yourself off. Be willing to be open to learning new ways or new ways of doing things. All right, that is the warning here. Do not close yourself off to learning more. You got a pathway of learning and increasing the quality of your life, increasing self-love, things of that nature. All right, lastly, let's try to figure out what other details about July do pile number 3 need to know about. What does pile number 3 need to know about lastly about July? Any last predictions? All right, let's see here. Oh, there's the 7 of Swords. There's the 2 of Wands. And the Hermit. All right. Like I said, there's people around you that maybe you don't necessarily see as clearly as you need to. Things that need to be readjusted. Things that need to be, changed for you to have a better quality of your life. And I think you really need to see who's really around you and maybe allowing yourself to expand outside of just your inner circle, your inner connections. Maybe there's people there that aren't really the greatest for you, and you have the ability to branch out and seek out different connections, different people. It doesn't have to be the same people. All right. And I think that's where being able to see the signs, being able to see things clearly, being able to really focus on what's around you and seeing what you need to eliminate, what you need to improve upon, and where you need to go. Where can you expand towards? Who can you bring into your life to expand your nature, to expand you to your highest self, to expand you to the greatest good of your life? And I think that's part of what July is going to be about, is that you're not going to contain yourself within a small circle. You're going to allow yourself to expand, get out of just the nature of what you're accustomed to and what you're comfortable with. It's time to seek out other changes, bring in new life, new energy, and really allow yourself to expand to something greater and get rid of the snarky people, get rid of the people that don't really have the good intentions for you or might be sneaking around you, creating lies, creating, fairy tales that aren't true at all, and really casting negative energy towards you. It's not great to have that kind of energy around you when you're, available to do so much more and to create so much better things in your life. All right, pile number 3. Let's get into your charms, and then also let's get into the last oracle card. I'll flip over the last oracle card first. Wow, look at that. Almost there. That's a fox, and that's a fox. I don't know if the charms are showing up clearly on the screen. I know the cat probably will, but I know the bat and the fox are a little flatter than the cat. There's not much dimension to them, but that is the fox at the top of the charms that we have. And it says almost there. And it's got a repeating number 44, which to me, is like one number away from actually being an angel number. Or if you want to see that as an angel number, I think that is something very significant for you to see as like a sign. And by the end of July, I see you almost being to where you need to be. You're making all these improvements. You're making all these changes. You're doing really good. You're navigating through your path like you should. You're navigating over obstacles. You're navigating through experiences. And you're coming out on top out of all of them. You're making the right choices. You're seeing the right signs. You're committing to the right things. And you're just as flexible and maneuverable as this fox is. They're able to weasel themselves through, thicket and obstacles and everything that they need to. They stay low, they stay quiet, they make it to where they're supposed to be at the right times. They find themselves in the right places at the right times. And I think that's going to be just like how you are. You're going to find yourself right place at the right time and doing the right things that you need to, making the right commitments, making the right sacrifices, and you're going to be closer to the end goal of your path. I see that very clearly for you. So now let's get into the charms. These are some interesting charms. We got the fox, we got the cat, and we got the bat. And I really think that a lot of these energies could be energies of, the spiritual animal aspect. Being able to obtain some of these energies from the spiritual animals. If you want to look into the spiritual properties of all three animals, then I highly recommend it. You might be able to absorb some of those energies and some of those insights to positively create a, unique perspective. And I think realistically, we'll go with the cat first, because that's the one that I feel is the strongest one coming out here, is that you need to give yourself time to rest. You need to give yourself enough therapeutic energy towards yourself to be able to have enough energy to put into these changes, right? You're going to be going through some changes just like how a cat does. They're very therapeutic. They take their time. They enjoy their rest. And they're, not convinced to get into a hurry. They're not convinced to do anything that they really don't want to do. So really enjoy your rest. Really enjoy the Four of Swords energy here. And give yourself some time to, recover, rejuvenate. And if therapy is something else that you need during this time, don't pass that by. Allow yourself to take what you need. Allow yourself to give yourself the assets and the connections that you need. So if you need therapy, it's not below you. It's not beneath you. Take the time to do that. Maybe even going to a cat cafe and being rejuvenated by cats might be something that you could do within the month of July. And I could see you definitely doing something very similar to that. Going to a cat cafe, going to a pet store, maybe even owning a cat. I could very easily see that being something that you do within the month of July, so that way you can recover some of that energy that you don't need to let go of. For the fox, I think the fox is just you making wise choices within this month of July, getting you closer to your path, getting you closer to your end goal, to getting you closer to your higher self. You're making wise choices. You're seeing things from a grander perspective. That could also be the bat. You can see things in a grander perspective, from a higher perspective, maybe even getting more clarity within the nighttime. Being able to sit with yourself and talk things over. Maybe you're a dreamer. Maybe you see things clearly in your dreams, and you can really recover some of those thoughts and those actions within your dreams to become more committable to those things and get more mental clarity and get more satisfaction from that. But I think you're going to be on new beginnings, making wiser choices, and having a better time within your life. I think that's what all these signs resemble, is that you're improving that quality, getting into higher energy, becoming more observant, becoming more understandable, okay? Things are going to start making sense. Things are going to start pointing themselves out to you. And I would not be surprised if there is an energy vampire within inside your circle, within inside your bracelet. There's obviously a bat here. You could obviously say that bats are kind of like vampires in a way. So don't put it past. Be more observant with the people that are around you and see who that person could be. I do have an energy vampire video on the channel. If you want to go back through my videos, maybe that will give you some clear insight on that as well. So check that out. But I think that's what I got for you, pile number 3. Very, very interesting energies going on in the month of July for you. And I hope it goes really, really well. It obviously shows that you're going to be making wise choices. And I think that's something that you should be proud of doing and accept. You've got this pile number 3. Thank you so much for being here. I really greatly appreciate you all, and I hope you have a wonderful July ahead. Hello, my pile number 4s. Welcome into your section of the video. Whether you have chosen the Angel Wisdom Tarot deck or whether you have chosen the Picaso Jasper Bracelet, welcome into your section of the video. It is halfway through the year. It is the month of July. We're trying to figure out your predictions for this month. Basically, what's going to happen is we're going to pick 2 oracle cards. The first card is going to be how your month of July is going to start. The second is going to be how your month of July is going to end. Stay tuned for the second card reveal towards the end of your reading. And then we're also going to be covering what the charms resemble within inside your bracelet to make up your bracelet. And those will be revealed towards the end of the video as well, or towards the end of your reading with the oracle card. So let's go ahead and get into it. What is pile number 4's energy going to be like at the beginning of the month and at the end of the month? Let's see if we can get your 2 cards here. All right. Here is your first card, and then, sorry about that. Here is your second card. All right. Let's reveal how your month of July is going to go at the beginning. Look at this card here. We have self-worth, self-love, self-value, and respect. Look how happy that pig is on top of all those coins. There is going to be a lot of great energy coming into your beginning of July. We'll see how it transmutes throughout the month, but the Picaso Jasper also resembles a lot of great positive happy energy, allowing yourself to be happy, allow yourself to be free flowing, and really into that type of energy. Let's go ahead and get into the tarot. There is a lot of good energy coming to you at the beginning of the month. It seems like a lot of that energy is talking about yourself. A lot of that energy is created from yourself. A lot of that happiness is created from the things that you're doing and the things that you want to do. What is the main timeline for the month of July for pile number 4? All right, let's see here. We've got the Hierophant card. Got the 10 of Cups. We get these to fit all on the screen here. We have got the 4 of Cups in reverse, 2 of Cups. And then let's put this down here. Try to squeeze in this last one, the High Priestess. All right. So it seems like the main course of July here is that there is a lot of energy of you kind of teaching yourself. We got the Hierophant and we got the High Priestess on either side. And it seems like with the 2 of Cups also being involved here, there's a lot of connection between yourself. You've got to teach yourself how to be happy. You've got to teach yourself a lot of the self-worth, a lot of the self-love, the value, respect, all that good nature. And you've got to also listen to yourself as well. You've got to listen to yourself of what you need, about how you need to feel, about what you need to learn. And then you've got to teach yourself what you need to do in those situations. Whatever your weak points are, whatever you're falling short of, you've got to sort those things out. Listen to yourself, listen to your feelings, and then teach yourself how to overcome these things on your own. And you don't need anybody's input. You don't need anybody's, thoughts or opinions or advice or anything of that nature. You've got to listen to yourself. You got to listen within your own heart, within your own soul, within your own being. And you will find that happiness at the end of the rainbow with all these choices that you make for yourself. And that's going to be really interesting for you in the month of July, is that you are going to be listening to yourself and making great choices for you. Things that you feel called to, things that you feel like are going to treat yourself, things that maybe other people have maybe denied you in the past. You are going to be doing these things on your own. I also feel within this pile that maybe you are coming out of some sort of relationship that was a bit controlling, that was a bit, kind of like past what you really wanted in yourself. Maybe this was something that you've seen like as something that you did want at some point, but you've evolved, you've grown into something else. You've matured into an energy of maybe accountability on yourself, and you've kind of grown out of this relationship and you ended this relationship of some sort, and you really allowed yourself to invest more into the qualities that you have, so that way you can bring those out, and that way you can be self-efficient, self-loving, creative, and really empowering. And now you're going to be making these choices that maybe this other person has denied you of your past, and you're going to be so excited and so in love with doing these things that you're like, why did I deny myself throughout, those many months or maybe even a few years of constraint? And now you're going to be super excited with this energy. You're giving back to yourself, you're giving back to your self-love, and you're creating a better connection within yourself that is, revolving around happiness, your own choices, and doing a lot for you. All right. Let's see if we can pull the card for what your mentality and what your physical energy is going to be like for the month of July. All right. We got the 10 of Swords. And we've got the Knight of Wands here. So the mental aspect I see for you is that you are ending things that do not create the great quality that you want. You're deleting things that does not make you happy. You're going through your life, sorting out things and mentally preparing yourself to cut off ties to certain things that just don't make you happy, or that make you upset, that make you question things, maybe even gives you harder feelings of anger or sadness or emotions like that you don't want around you. You are trying to escape those things and get rid of those things. You're sorting through these things so that way you can bring in more energy for you. And you are creating that energy because the physical here is that you are more on the go. You are more passionate. You are more energetic. You're doing more things. You're incorporating more things into your life. You're incorporating more things into your regimen, into your routine, and you are delivering. You are becoming more abundant with your time because you're using your time efficiently. You're being more proactive, and you're getting out. You're doing things. You're doing things for yourself here in the month of July. What is someone or something that is coming into pile number 4's life here in the month of July? Let's see here. Ooh, we got the Chariot. Rewards that come from hard work. You're putting things into motion here. You're creating happiness, which creates positive energy within yourself. You're transmuting that. You're projecting that into the world, and you're attracting that back into your life. You're going through these life lessons, and you're sailing, you're coasting through these things at a high rate, and you're delivering and you're receiving at the same time. It's like whenever you order something on Amazon and you get that 1-day shipping, that's pretty much like what you're doing. You have a thought, you have an idea, you deliver on that idea, and then you get the reward just right after. And it's so crazy to me that came up in my mind, but that's the comparison that I have for that, is that you are receiving a lot of good from the good that you are putting out and the good that you're changing within your life. You're creating a lot of good. What is something that is leaving, or someone that is leaving pile number 4's life here in the month of July? We have the King of Cups. Interesting here. We actually have someone, I feel like, someone that, I'm not getting a very strong idea of who this may be, I almost see like this is someone that could be kind of recent, someone that might be sneaking into your DMs, or someone that might be, quietly making appearances to try and, make a move to show that they can provide you something that you are lacking. But it almost seems like you don't need what they have to offer. And I think that's the reason why they are being eliminated from your life, is because you know how to stand up for yourself. You know how to look inwards to find that self-love that you're needing, that they think that they can provide to you. And you're not allowing that to really, build up to something. You realize that this person might be a little phony. You realize this person might not carry the right energies or the right vibes that you really translate. They don't seem like a get up and go type of person, and you realize that. So whenever you're actually doing that and they're not matching your energy, and they might have a lower vibrational energy, that doesn't vibe well with you. And I think that's the reason why you're cutting this off, is because you don't need it. You don't need what they're offering you. You don't need what they're telling you that they can provide. It just doesn't make sense to you, all right? Let's see if we can find out what you need to be made aware of within the month of July, pile number 4. What does pile number 4 need to be warned about, made aware of, anything of that nature here? We have the 8 of Swords. It says the illusion of entrapment, a lack of self-confidence that makes you feel helpless, being afraid to take action. Take responsibility for your life now. And I feel like this might be something that you have dealt with in the past. And what you need to be made aware of is this transformation from this past energy into this bigger, brighter energy. I feel like some of you, if you weren't made aware of this, if you weren't warned about this, you wouldn't really see the progression. You would just look at it like you've just changed, you've evolved, and you've not really looked back and saw the thoughts about it. You've not really looked back and cherished the transformation. You're not going to really look back and respect yourself for making these changes and standing up for yourself. And I think that's something that you need to do. You need to be able to look back on your journey, specifically about, your self-confidence, your self-worth, your self-love, things of that nature. And you need to, be happy about that progression. You need to honor that progression. Give yourself the credit you deserve for making that progression, and not let yourself be denied that you have changed from something awful to something really great. And that takes a lot. That takes a lot out of you. That takes a lot of confidence, a lot of hard work. You should, be happy about that. Be honored. I give you respect for doing that. And that is something that you need to be made aware of, is to be able to reflect and appreciate the journey. Be grateful. Show gratitude to this journey here. Okay? So, lastly, with the tarot cards, what is it, or what are some things that need to be last noted for your month of July? What other things are happening for the month of July for pile number 4? All right, we got the 6 of Cups. We got the 9 of Pentacles. And the 5 of Swords. I feel like this is telling me that you have kind of strayed away from a lot of things that you've not really thought about since you were younger. Like the inner child work here. You've not really followed the path that maybe you wanted to create in your life. You kind of started picking up things. You started picking up other people's energies. You kind of absorbed other people's thoughts of what your life should be. And you've kind of like got entangled into a really thick mess of disfocus and not really, casting your thoughts towards the right things. A lot of clutter, mental clutter, a lot of negative energies that maybe weren't your own. And within this month of July, you might be reflecting back on these type of things. You might be reflecting back on these energies to really figure out what it is that you feel called to the most, that maybe you can create this new path. Because I feel like this is also saying that it's not too late. No matter how old you are within this lifetime, it is not too late to go through the path that you want, that you really wanted to create for your life, and create that happiness for you. Allow yourself to be fulfilled. Allow yourself to not do for others and do more for yourself, and become more of this independent force of nature type energy. And you will be able to call the shots for yourself. You'll be able to do the things that you really want to do, and you won't have to settle for anything less than what makes you happy. And things will start to transpire for you more. Things will start to really come in and embrace you and respect you and give you that love that you are seeking. I feel like a lot of the things that you have done in your life here recently, within maybe like the last 2 or 3 years, that you have acted out in some sort. Maybe you weren't getting the things that you were actually wanting, so you were acting out and kind of bringing in things to replace it that wasn't necessarily the right things, that wasn't necessarily good things. And that is something that maybe you were starting to come more into awareness of, is that you were replacing things that you truly wanted with things that you thought carried that same potential or thought carried that same energy, because it also fit within those elements of what other people wanted for you. And it just simply wasn't the case. You're simply acting out because your divine feminine wasn't allowing yourself to do the things that you really wanted, to be as creative as you wanted to be, really being able to make your life into what it is that you wanted. So you started, acting out and gained this attention, or gained some sort of energies that really weren't that great for you overall, but it helped supplement those things. It helped supplement those energies. And maybe you're coming into more realization and overcoming these things, and it might be something that you're going to be able to heal from as well. Maybe even a sense of therapy, or maybe just creating a better self-direction for you. All right, pile number 4. We are going to reveal the last oracle card and also cover the charms within inside the bracelet. How is your energy going to be like towards the end of the month? Wow. I believe, who was it that had this? Pile number 2 had this at the beginning of their month. So maybe this might be something that you need to go back towards pile number 2 to look for some additional information as well. Allow yourself to get all the answers that you need. But we have the prayer answer card, and I think by the end of the month, you're going to start feeling a lot of the good energies really paying off, really showing everything that you want, and you're getting back to your roots. You're getting back to your passion. You're getting back to the life that you want to live, and things are going to start becoming clearer, and you're going to be guided in that direction. It's almost like your spiritual team or your ancestors or angels are really, really thankful that you are making it back to what you have really assigned yourself to in this lifetime. And that is really, really special and really, really good that this is paying off for you here towards the end of July. So anything that you kind of resonate with this card of being a prayer answered, just be thankful, be grateful, show gratitude, show yourself self-love. That is awesome. So for your charms, we have the heart, we have the fairy, we have the dragonfly. There is a lot of guardian energies around you at this time to help you and guide you into the direction that you're supposed to be given. They're going to be giving you some sort of energies towards the lessons that you're supposed to be learning. They're giving you some sort of insight of the things that you should be morphing into and recreating, going back to those original roots, like I said. There's a lot of good energy around you, a lot of good vibrant energy to increase your happiness, to increase your self-esteem. There's a lot of things paying off for you within this month of July, and you're going to start seeing those things pay off. You're going to start seeing these things around you, And I really think that you need to take care of your heart. And I think you really need to take care of your divine feminine energy. Look more into that, heal that. I do have a guided healing meditation for your divine feminine on the channel. I just posted it here recently. So go back and look at that video and try to go through that meditation. Maybe that will help you. And I really think all these things will pay off for you. So allow yourself to give that time back to yourself to help grow these positive energies within your life. And don't think for a second that you are not receiving signs, because you are, and you should pay attention to those as well. You're being guided. You're spiritually enlightened, pile number 4, and you've got a message to deliver. I truly believe that. You've got a lot of energy to fulfill that maybe you once felt when you were much, much younger. And I think that is something that you need to pay attention to. What is something that you felt when you were younger? What is something that you felt when you were a kid? Maybe even during like the summertime months of whenever you were younger. What was it? What were you creating? What were you spontaneously thinking about that you wanted to do with your life? Or what felt good for you to do in your life? I think that is something to pay attention to. Be creative, be passionate, and maybe do things more that you felt resonated with you when you were a child. And allow those things and allow those energies to come back into your life. That is the month of July for you, pile number 4. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to check out pile number 2 if you feel called to it. I feel like some of you might get some messages from there as well. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have a fabulous month of July, and I'll catch you guys on the next reading. Take care.